everyone. Welcome to Liza's Painting Parties. I'm Liza and welcome to our 100th paint party. It has been 100 times that we've done these live free sessions and I hope that you've all enjoyed. If this is your first time joining me, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. Tonight we're doing a really special painting. I'm not going to start just yet. I want to just make sure that anyone who is able, who wants to paint along with us live tonight, has the opportunity to catch this and make sure they get all their painting supplies and everything ready. If you are unable to join live tonight, that's totally fine. You can rewatch this recording on my YouTube channel under Liza's Painting Parties or under the videos tab on my Facebook page as well. So the videos will always stay up. And if you enjoy the session, there are many 100 others, or I guess I should say 99 others, available for you to watch on YouTube or on my Facebook page as well under the videos tab. So definitely take a look. Everything's there for free, so enjoy and have fun. And the only ask that I have is if you paint along with me, I'd love to see what you've painted. So whether you're painting along with me tonight or whether you're going back and doing one of the videos from a previous session, please snap a picture of what you've painted and share it with the community. It's always fun, and I think everyone really loves that process of seeing what everyone's created. Everyone has such a unique style, different levels of skill, so it's always fun. So if you haven't joined me in a while, if it's your first time joining, I encourage you to put your own personality and your own spin on it if you feel comfortable. I will direct how I went about creating this particular painting, and I'll talk you through it. But you can, again, add your own kind of spin to it. If you want to change the colors of things, we can talk about that as we go on too. As I'm going through the session, you can feel free to put any comments or anything in here, and then I will keep an eye on, and I will comment and reply back as I can. Sometimes when I get a little bit into the painting, I sometimes don't look at it. So if anyone else sees a comment and you would like to respond to it, maybe you have an answer or you want to jump in or just have a conversation going between you all, that's amazing, and please do, I encourage it. Also, the way I do these parties is it's almost like a book club vibe. So we have, this in particular is an original painting that I made, but we can all have our own interpretation of how you want it to be represented. So just because I did it this way doesn't mean you have to do it that way. Doesn't mean someone else won't have a totally different vibe. Please put your own vibes on things. That's what I would love. Also, when I'm painting, I do go a little quickly at times. I do a lot of my blending when the paint is wet, and it can be a little challenging. When you're watching me do it live, you can always like pause or rewind and watch it again if you need to. So feel free to do that. However, I do challenge you to kind of let go of a little bit of the control or what you think it should look like and just try to go with the process. Because I know that's something that has held me back in my creativity when I overthink it. So that's something that I would suggest as well. So yeah, so that is my little spiel. There'll be some more that I'll go through. I'll go through what the supplies we're using today. We'll talk a bit more about how we're going to be approaching the painting and what steps we're going to take before we even start. And if you'd like to, I've noticed some people have commented, which is amazing. So please let me know where you're tuning in from. Say hi. It's always nice to have comments and to see what's going on, which is fun. Let me just say hi to everyone here. Hi, Carol. Anastasia, hi. Hi, Doreen. I'm so happy. So the painting we're painting, I didn't realize I didn't have it on the screen yet. So this is the painting that we're going to be doing today. So this is an original one I made a couple weeks ago, especially for this 100th paint party. And I love it. Of course, I'm a little biased, obviously. But I really wanted to have something that had a fun blend, and I love bright colors, so you'll see that often. I love blending and I love bright colors with like a little bit of like this hint of like wispy clouds, so it's very pretty and light. And then these like stark, like kind of bluish, grayish, purplish mountains in the background. I really like those. And then this nice grass field with the sunflower right here. So, and the sunflower, it was interesting because I was seeing so many paintings and different types of artistic work, and just like photos of a sunflower. A lot of people are posting that in support of the Ukraine, and that really was really inspiring. However, for me, whenever I see a sunflower, it reminds me of my dad. My dad passed away. Oh my, maybe it's like coming up to like 20 years ago, I would say. It just reminds me of him, and he was always someone who was really proud of like who he was, and instill that like pride in me and that confidence to just like be yourself and you can do it, like that kind of vibe. So it's such a great energy, and I wanted to have a little commemoration of him today. So that's where that comes from for me. So I want all of you to feel that you're all awesome. You can do it. This is fun. We're going to have a great time together. Even though I can't properly see you and have a nice connection, I still feel very connected with all of you. And I hope you do as well. And I hope you feel my positive energy, and you're getting pumped up, and we're going to have a great time doing this. So that is what we're going to be doing today. I'll put it right here. So we'll have it available for now. When we start to paint, I'm going to move the camera, and then you'll be able to see this painting while I'm painting in process, and I'll talk through how we're going to do that. However, you may want to, I did put it up earlier today on the Facebook post, just like a picture of it, so you can grab a screenshot of that or have it available on another device if you want to have more of a closer reference that you can see, because even though it will be on screen, it might be a little bit hard to see it specifically because both will be going. Up to you how you want to do it. It's totally, totally good. Hi, Louise. Awesome. Hi, Donna. Hi, Lynn. And Jayla. Hello. And Heather. Jane. Oh, it's just fantastic. Hi, everyone. I'm so glad you're all joining. Perfect. So if anyone hasn't done it already too, I'm actually doing a giveaway of a painting party. So I'll host a painting party for you and 10 friends. And the way you can get entered into that draw is there is a pinned post on my Facebook page that basically very clearly says giveaway. So if you comment on that post, or if you like it, if you share it, for each different action, there'll be an extra ballot that you could receive to be entered into the draw. I'm going to be doing the draw at the end of next week and announcing it in May. So please do so and share and enter, because it'd be great to host for you and your friends. If you would like to hire me, you can do that separately. There is a link under there, and you can connect, and then I can always host something for you separately if you wanted to do your own party for work or friends or whatever you want to do virtually. If you're in the Greater Toronto area, we could always talk about doing it in person as well. Yeah, so there we go. Those are the other things I want to make sure I mention them today before we get started. Oh, amazing, a first timer. Hello, Giovanna. Ooh, I love the name. Your name's lovely. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run through the supplies that I'm going to be using for tonight's paint party. And again, they're what I have. You can change things up as you want to. Just because I'm using it does not mean it's like the best item. A lot of it was done for financial considerations, so keep that in mind. So I use acrylic paint for all of my paintings. I started off using Crafters acrylic, so these ones that were from the Dollarama, and I still dip in and use them quite a bit. So if you have these ones, they're great. They dry with like a matte finish, and if you have red, blue, yellow, black, and white, those are the colors you need, and we can create anything you want. If you have some other colors, obviously, if you already have a pre-mixed green or a pink or purple, you can feel free to use those as you so desire. If you don't, I'll still talk through like which ones to mix to get those colors, just as a little primary school reminder of like what makes what, and you kind of have to play with it a bit. And I use what I have available to me. So I have these ones. So the red that I have in the Crafters acrylic is called Bright Red, but again, it wasn't specifically because I like really needed that particular red. The blue I have is a Peacock Blue, it's called. And then black, I think, is just black. And then the yellow one, for those ones, I have is a bright yellow. And I think I have a daffodil yellow. But again, not necessary on the specifics of it. I also use these ones called Flow Acrylic. They're from Artist's Loft. All my paint has like paint covering the name of it, unfortunately. And these ones were still pretty cheap, to be honest. They were like under $10 Canadian for this almost 1 liter, 1 quart essentially, container. And these ones are literally just called yellow, red, blue. So they're pretty straightforward. These ones dry with like a shiny finish. So I kind of like that for some of the paints. And you go back and forth between them, just depending. Sometimes the consistency is a little bit different. I find with the Crafters acrylic, they're thicker. And they dry faster. And with these ones, the Artist Loft, they take longer to dry, and I need to use less paint on my canvas to get my painting done. So kind of a back and forth. So that's what I'm using. In terms of other supplies, I have water containers. Acrylic is water-based, so water is usually our friend, and a variety of brushes. I suggest having at least 3 sizes, and I just say a large, a medium, and a fine point. The large that I'm using is a size 10, the medium is a size 2, and the fine point, this one I think is a size 2, but I also have a size 4 that I like too. They don't look very fine point, but when they're wet, they get nice and specific, which I like. But really, it's in relation to your canvas size. And the canvas size that I'm using today is an 11 by 14, and it is a canvas board. And again, this is more for space convenience than preference. I do prefer to use a stretched canvas. So if you have a stretched canvas, I find the paint just goes on it a lot nicer, and the quality looks a little bit better as well. But it really is up to you how you want to do it. It's totally fine. I still use these because it's more convenient to store. So there we go. Hi, Andrea. Awesome. Oh, it's so good. I'm glad to see everyone joining. Fantastic. Okay, great. All right, so it's just after 6, which is fantastic. Okay, went through. Oh, I also have paper towel, and I have my palette as well that I just pop my paint on. I do most of my mixing right on the canvas itself. So the way we're going to approach this painting when we start is we're going to start by painting the beautiful sky. So what I want you to start thinking about is how much space on the canvas the sky is going to take. So this sky comes just below halfway, so the halfway point's about there-ish. It comes just a little bit below here. So we're definitely going to want that sky to come further than where our mountains are going to sit, so it stays in the background. So that's the first thing we're going to think about. The second thing we're going to think about is we're going to want to get this nice blending and gradient happening. So again, we're going to work quickly, but have fun doing it and not be stressed out about it too much. So if you'd like, you can start by putting some blue on your palette, some yellow on your palette, a little bit of red, and a nice amount of white, and I'll put that on too and I'll show you, and then we can get our colors going. Again, if you have a premixed purple you want to use, you could use that as well. So we can start getting that going. I'm going to put this on the side here, and then I'm going to move the camera, and then we're going to get started. All right? Okay. So let me see if there's any comments here. Oh, thank you so much, Mary. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And Doreen's asking, how do I feel about paintable paper? I don't know if I've used actual paintable paper itself. I have but I think they're like canvas sheets. I don't know if that'd be considered paper though. I think because they actually do have like a canvas texture on them. And I like those quite a bit actually. I found that they actually still held the paint almost nicer than the actual board. I find with this board, I don't know if it's just like when the gesso goes onto the canvas that's on top of the board, it kind of creates it like more of a stiffer texture that I'm not super fan about. The actual like canvas paper I felt like was more natural. So I do prefer that. Hi, Tom. Thanks for joining. Okay, fantastic. All right, so I'm going to move my camera now and make sure that you guys can see what you need to see, which is not me. but I think that's how we're going to do it. You can't really see the bottom so much right now, but we're not going to stress about that because at that point I could always move the camera just a little bit more. Louise is asking, could this work for watercolor? Yeah, absolutely. Actually, it was interesting. Some of our first sessions we had, my niece was actually joining in, and every painting that I did, she did in watercolor. And she had added them on. I need to figure out a better way. Maybe we should put like a folder of everyone's like artwork so people can see what everyone else did or something. Because hers were really cool because she was able to conceptualize it and she got them done so fast because watercolor is so interesting because you work pretty quickly at it and then you get something really beautiful very fast. Yeah, I always loved it. She always did it. So yeah, absolutely. However, when I speak about acrylic and the steps that I'm taking to make it in acrylic, that wouldn't necessarily translate directly into watercolor because that medium is quite different and I'm not as familiar with watercolor. So I'm going to only be speaking about it from an acrylic perspective, just to be clear. So you'd have to use your own knowledge of watercolor to kind of like vibe that up. Okay, paint on the palette. Okay, so I'm just going to put the paint on and then I'll move my camera to show you like about how much I'm putting on of each color. Right now I am using the Artist's Loft paint. So also with the Artist's Loft, I can't say it properly. It does spread more as I mentioned earlier. So I don't use as much as I usually do for my other paints. Okay, so that's how much of each color that I'm using, more or less. Okay, and I just put those colors on. Like I said, if you have like a pre-mixed purple or something else you want to go with, you can absolutely do that as well. And I do have like some nice pinks and purples, but I think I'm going to just mix my own this time. Now I think for these purposes, I think I'm going to start down here with some of the lighter. Am I going to do that? No. We're going to start in the corner. We're going to do the dark. Okay, so I need to mix some purple. So I'm going to mix my blue and my red together. I always start with like equal parts and then I deviate from there. If I find that it's too dark or it's too light, because again, just because a paint is called blue or red, sometimes it's still not like, they still have different values and variations. So that's what makes it a little tricky. So yeah, so there. So I just mixed equal parts and I have some on my brush. And I'm just going to start by putting this purple kind of diagonally in this corner. And I'm going to start moving it across. I'm also getting the sides of my canvas as I go. Okay. Got a nice purple going already. Can we see that okay? Yeah, okay, good. My screen was a little off, but I thought I'd cut it off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this same brush. I'm not using water. I'm just like wiping it off my paper towel. So I don't need it all off. I just want most of it off. And now I'm going to dip into my blue. And now with my blue, after I do that, I'm just going to go underneath like that. And then now I'm going to start bringing it in to my purple. And now we can go all the way into it and then bring it all the way down. And I just keep going in this sweepy motion. Okay, I'm going to get more blue now. And I'm just going to bring that blue over. Okay, I'm going to keep going with this blue for a bit. And And I might change it up a little bit from my original one. I don't know. Maybe I'll make it a little bit more intense. We'll see. We'll see what the mood brings today. Okay, so I'm just going to bring some of this blue down. Okay. And then wherever you're at, like I brought it down, now it's probably what, about like a third of the way-ish. I'm going to get some white and I'm going to start to go on the edge of that blue. Just dab it. And then I'm going to bring that white upwards into the blue that we just did. And this is already going to start to create like a bit of this streaky, cloudy sky happening. Okay, I'm going to go back and get some more. It already has like the movement of the sky before we even get to the clouds. It's nice and pretty and vibrant. Get some more white over here just to lighten up some spots of it. And then again, I'm going to use the paper towel to like take off excess paint of my brush instead of dipping it in water. I tend to not want to use much water as I go. I feel like that kind of messes up with the consistency of the paint. Ooh. Maybe I'll just draw up my canvas, you know, just for fun. Anything that happens, we can always figure it out, make it work. Okay, so now I want to get some of this like bright pinky color, and how I'm going to do that is first I'm going to get white again, and I'm going to go underneath my blue like this. I'm going to start bringing it in to my blue, and again, I know I'm working pretty quickly, but the paint does dry. I'm just putting like a fairly thin coat as I go. And then now I just grabbed like a little dab of red on the end of my brush, and I'm just going to bring this up in like a sweepy motion. And as I do this, it kind of just starts to blend with the blue that's already there, so it kind of turns a little purpley. I'm getting more white as I go. I don't want it to just become super dark. Or the white really helps in this blending process. And I always start it when I get the white in an area that doesn't have the paint, and then I bring it into my painted area. I love skies, they're so pretty. It's obviously a little bit more subtle than the original, but we can always darken it up if we want. Again, it's really just up to you. I'm going to put a little bit more red, so I want a little bit more. I just grab my red paint, and because I'm putting it right on to wet white paint, it creates a nice pink. Okay. All right. So from here, I want to start to bring in some of those yellows, maybe even a little bit of orange, perhaps. But I'm going to be doing that by, again, white is our friend. And I don't want blue to show up in this process. Otherwise, our sky will end up being green, and I don't want that to happen. So this is just a lot of white paint right now. And now I'm going to dab into my yellow and start to bring that into the white that we just did. And the yellow going into like the red is fine. Or pink, it's fine. But ooh, that's a little trap there. Okay, there we go. Just bringing that down further than what we were thinking. There we go. Okay, I think I want to make it a little bit orangey, so I'm going to get like a little bit of red. And I'm just going to add little streaks. I'm going to use my paper towel constantly whenever I want to get rid of paint on here. I'm just going to start mixing that into the yellow a bit to make it a little like orangey, peachy. I need it a little darker than that, so I'm just going to go in again. And like a mountain will be here probably, so that's going to end up covering up some of that, but I still want to make it look soft and pretty, because maybe I'll change him on the mountain shapes. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the mood strikes today. Thank you very much, Lynn. Hope everyone who's painting along with me is enjoying. I love, like, I could just blend color. I don't know, I'd just be happy doing that. Like, who wants me to blend a bunch of color for them in the sky? It's like my happy place. Okay. Now, I think I want to put another bit of layer up on here because my purple's kind of streaky, but in a way that I don't like it. So I'm just gonna do a second coat now that this top part is a bit dry. There we go. And then now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to get blue just under the line and then bring it into the purple. I'm just doing a second kind of go over in some spots up here. I'm not going to do the whole thing. I just want to get into this purple and blue area. You may not need to, depending on how yours looks. It's totally up to you. Just getting some white to just soften it up a little. Okay. All right, very soft, very pretty. I think at this point now I'm going to get my brush and I'm just going to pop it in the water. So that's the first time I've put my brush in the water so far. I've just been using the paper towel otherwise to remove paint from it. Okay. All right. So I want my sky to, do I want it to fully dry? Sometimes I do, and sometimes I like just to go in and start putting clouds in. I think for now, like, there's some spots, like this part here is fully dry. Here is still wet because we just touched it. There's a little bit of wetness, and that's fine. I think I am going to start putting in and playing with some of the clouds. So you can select either like a fine point brush if you like, or a medium brush. I think I'm going to go with my medium brush to start, and then I might move to a fine point depending on how it's feeling, if that makes sense. So the way these clouds are, it's just like hints and like feelings of like these wispy clouds that are living in the sky. And so I think we're going to continue with that. I don't know if I want them to be puffier this time. No, we're going to keep them wispy. Okay, so I'm going to, with my medium number 2 brush, is the one I'm using today. I just put paint on and I try to keep it pretty flat on my brush. And then now I'm going to kind of go with this because the sky already has this like vibe of like movement after us using our brush strokes and having this like vibe happening. And so now I'm just going to go in and I'm going to start, just put like a line kind of to guide where you want your cloud to be, and then I'm just going to start kind of dabbing. I want to keep the line kind of straight-ish. So it's still a little wet here, which actually is okay, and it's kind of working nicely. Just kind of like mess it up, make it look a little wispy. That's good to start. Okay, so again, I'm gonna just go like here, kind of put like a line in. I need to get more white paint. There we go. So again, I'm just gonna dab, but I want the line below to be kind of straight. Okay, and then sometimes there's like little remnants of like dots and little cloud kind of bunches that are happening. I'm going to put another one like here, so a bit of a line, and then just kind of dab a little bit, and maybe that one peters off. Maybe there's some extra little lines that are happening here and there. Okay, and it's going to kind of keep going. So where else do we want one? Like here maybe. That's a bigger one, and then I'm just going to dab a little bit here and there, and then try to keep it like a straight-ish line at the bottom. So I'll show closer kind of to help hopefully if that's, sorry, my angles are weird when I do it that way. So that's kind of what the clouds are looking like. So it's kind of like a straight-ish line. And again, I don't want you to stress too much about it. Just kind of go with it. If your lines are getting a little bit funky, go with it. Maybe it will look, maybe it will work. Cloud, like the thing is, nature is really interesting. I feel like in my head, I end up having these like ideas of like what things are supposed to be like. And then I go outside and I look at a tree, and that tree is all over the place. Right? Like the branches, I look at it and I'm like, how would I have like thought in my head about making this? And it's always like way more uniform and way more structured than what reality is. So I always say, like, don't let that scare you off. So when you do something and it's kind of like funky, I don't know, sometimes it can kind of work. And maybe stop thinking about it as what it's supposed to be and just look at it as lines and colors. So again, we're going to put another one like here. So the only thing I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to stay with like the lines that I've already created and the movement. I'm trying to keep my little formations going in the same general direction. And then I'm also, I guess, trying to make sure they're not just going like in a straight line and they're all like very angular. I'm trying to have them on different levels and like stopping and starting in different spots. So like this one goes here, this one kind of stops here, and then I'm going to put like another one like here-ish. Cool. Another one like here. And I'm just trying to put like a little remnants in spots too. So kind of like little trail offs. I wonder if I want any more at the top. I'm not sure. Okay. Just gonna put a little bit, make this a little bit whiter in some spots, not all of it. Add a little bit more. Okay, cool. I think I might be okay with that. I'm just gonna look at it just on my side for a second. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. I think I'm good. Oh, there I go, painting my previous painting. Silly, silly. Okay. I think I'm happy with those. Hi, Diane. Oh, I'm glad you're gonna watch tonight. That's great. Hi, Jen. I'm so glad you made it. Yay. That's fantastic. Okay. So, beautiful sky. How gorgeous. Beautiful clouds, wispy and fun and whimsical. And again, it's really up to you, like, how many clouds you want to do, how you're feeling, what the vibe is. Again, like, and it's a little different from my original. This one's a little bit messier, I would say, and I kind of like that. But this one I feel like it's a little softer, which I'm digging today. So, feel it out. I'm not in the practice of trying to make the exact same painting every time. Like, I don't like that, really. I do like to try to change it up a little bit in some way. And when we do our paint from photo events too, I always say that if you want it to look exactly like the photograph, you have the photograph. You don't need to paint it. That's my view on it. I do really admire people who can do things super realistic, and that's very cool. But for me, it's more about capturing like the essence or the feeling that you're getting from looking at that and putting it on your own image. Okie dokie. So, hi Marion. I'm glad you joined. Yay. Okay. So, once we have our sky, the next step will be to put in our mountains. So we always work from whatever's furthest back and we build up to the front. Now, that being said, I think we're gonna start, I might change up a little bit. I don't know if I wanna, I feel like I kind of want to define like this mountain a little more than I did before. Like I really like the way this one turned out. And it was funny because when I was painting it, I was questioning it the entire time. And I'm like, no, it actually turned out all right. But yeah, we'll start with this further one. I think I want it to be more of like a really dark purple instead of it being a full-on black. So I think I'm going to do that differently this time. I still want black to exist. So I want to put a little bit of black on my palette because I am going to use it. And I still have my red and my blue. So I'm going to mix my red and my blue again to get kind of that purple that I created for that top corner there. And then I'm going to add a little bit of black into it to make it darker. That's my plan. We'll see how it works. Black is super powerful and it will like kind of take over your whole color. So always put in less, whatever you think you need, put like half of that and then just add gradually if you're trying to add black to things because everything is supposed to be so intense and dark if you don't. Okay, so for my furthest mountain in the back, it's my darkest color, and it's going to be this kind of black purple. I want this mountain to be here-ish. It almost looks black, but it's a little purplish in it, which, okay, I don't know if it's going to come through. And then I'm going to bring this mountain down. And it's going to be kind of like that, I think. Okay. So now I'm just going to fill it in. I'm using my medium brush, my number 2 medium brush. I'm just coloring it in. I think I'm still going to have it pretty much like in the background, so we're not really going to see too much on this mountain. Like this one's closer, so I see a little bit more. I'm just going to bring this down further than this other mountain that lives in the front. It's going to be. Okay, I'm just going to see if I'm missing anything. Sometimes I have to, the glare from the light makes it hard for me to see if I've covered everything I want to cover. Okay. I think I'm going to just go like that with this guy. Okay. Cute. Nice. All right. So now I want to do my next kind of mountain hill thing. I think I'm going to make it more like a hill. I don't know if I want it to be a full mountain. No, I will make it a mountain. Okay. So I want to put more blue into this. The color I just made, but I'm just going to add more blue. And see how that goes. I think that's going to work. We'll try that and see. Okay, so where's that peak going to be? That peak's going to be like here. And that's going to come down like, how do we want this to be? Like this. It's going to come down this way. Okay. It's just a slightly bluish color in comparison to my purple mountain that I got there. So bringing it lower than wherever I want my flower and the green and everything else to live. So I think I'm good with that there for now. I'm just gonna look at it from here for a second just to make sure. Okay. It's a little hard for me to see again. There's like a weird glare happening. So I'm just going to try and change my brush strokes a little bit. Just so they kind of follow this mountain kind of vibe instead of it being kind of weird. Like that side looks a little bit weird. Might have to go on top of that one when it dries. For now, let's just leave that for now. Okay. Fantastic. So then, for my other mountain, this one's a big guy. It's kind of even taller. This one's going to be in a lighter blue. And then it has like a darker shadow on the side. So I think I'm going to get that same color I was using. I added a little bit of white to it just to lighten it up a bit. And then now we're going to pop this guy in. Now I want to make some angular zigzag. Okay, so we're going to keep this lighter blue on the one side of the zigzag. Okay, and then we need a darker on the other side. I just got a little bit of black and then I added it. I'm trying to get the sides of my canvas too as I go. Okay, and now we have that angle. It already starts helping to feel that there's more things happening on that. Oh, thank you, Donna. Okay, cool. So is that kind of the base of the mountains? So you have like the first color essentially going on, and now we're going to start to add in on this one in particular. I don't really touch the other ones too much. I kind of assume like they're in the distance, you're not really seeing them too much. So I'm not going to worry about that too much. But I do want to start putting in some different shadows and stuff on this mountain here. I'm going to get some more black on my brush. Okay, and I want to put some, I'm going to have to wait realistically until it dries. I think so. It never stops me. I still end up going for it. Like, I need to wait. And what do? I still just keep going. That's what happens. Okay, I'm still going to do it on this side too. A little bit of black here, some here. Okay. And then there's some like white too. So with white, we can kind of give it a little bit of a highlight. Some spots. So maybe a little bit of a, I'm going to go along this edge a bit. And just like soften it into the blue. Everything's still pretty wet, so. Just a little much, I think. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Some people, I've seen really beautiful mountains with a palette knife. I haven't got the palette knife flow down yet, so I'm not, it's not my forte. I'm just putting a little highlight, a little bit of white on this side too, just a little, just so that it emphasizes how dark some of the areas are. And I think that works nicely. Let me just see. Okay, so that's what I have so far for that guy. Okay. I think as it dries, we might add some more definition to it, but for now, I'm pretty happy with that. All right, so, Okay, Now I want to start putting in my hills that are living down at the bottom here. And I need green. So again, if you have a pre-mixed green, go for it and use it. Otherwise, you can mix your blue and your yellow together. I've used the blue that was on my palette, so I am going to just use my pre-mixed green just for the sake of convenience. Okay, so I'm just going to start off by, we want to get these hills to cover the bottoms of our mountains. This one, again, in the distance. Okay, I'm going to get a touch of black and I'm going to add it into this green. This one's going to be far away. Okay, and then let's put another, this brighter green to live here. See, this particular paint brand is very thin unless I add like something else to it. That's what I don't like about it. I'm going to still put a little bit of black into it, but I don't really want it to be that dark, but it's okay. We'll deal with it for now, then I'll lighten it up as I go. I'm just mixing my green with a bit of yellow to lighten it. We'll do another hill, maybe one here. This part's like I find that's the fast part, like to get all the hills and the mountains. I find the flower is what's gonna take some time. So on my stroke, I'm just trying to keep with like this hilly, so I'm trying to go with like the curves of it, just so it emphasizes this hill happening. But I don't like how thin this paint is. We'll see. Okay, and then let's put another one like here. This is going to go right on top. I'm just squishing it in because like the paint behind it was so dark, so I'm just trying to get rid of that line and just emphasize this new hill that's on top. That's why when you see me go like squish, 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 that's what I'm doing. So that's going to come up all the way to the front. Okay, and then another one right on the top here. Okay, so I think I want this to be, it's not going to make sense at the moment, but I am going to put a little bit of black just to define that there's like another hill that lives here. Okay. So it feels hilly and pretty. Oh, hi, Michael. And hi, Roberta. Oh, your paint kit's on its way. Nice. Getting some paints, and then you'll be painting this? Whenever you do, please take a picture and let me see it. I love to check it out. Anyone who's painting along, remember, I want to see your paintings. I'm just making this one a little bit darker, so I'm adding a little bit of the blue that I had to it just to hopefully make it not so opaque. I don't know. I think I'll have to wait till it dries and then play with it more. Okay. I like it. All right, so I feel pretty good about that. Now, the way I did the sunflower was that I used white paint to do kind of an outline of how I wanted this flower to live. And then I waited for the white paint to dry, and then I went back and then I put the yellow and the lighter green on top of it. So it's going to be a two-step process. And the reason I did that is because I wanted the white to give me an even background, so that would kind of pop out, right? Some people do it where they paint and leave the actual canvas blank where they want to put their image. I don't like that as much because I like the flow of how the background is, and then I place it. So it does take a little bit of an extra step by doing like a white kind of like almost like a silhouette of the flower and then putting in the details, but that's how I would do it. So again, it's up to you how you want to. You can change it up how you want to, even if you're like, you know what, I don't want to do the flower, I'm just gonna change it up, put something else in here, I'm gonna put a cat, I don't know, whatever. Do whatever you want. There's no requirement that you have to do it the same way that I've done it. You can do it whichever way you desire. Okay, if you're going to do it the way I'm doing it, you're going to want to get your thin brush. Now we can start popping in the flower because the flower is going to live about here, more or less. But down here it's still pretty wet, but I can start putting in the flower on that one side. So let us use auto white. Oh, that's my hair. That's not going to work. Okay, cool. And essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at our inspiration photo, and I'm going to say, okay, so like the center of this sunflower, I think I'm going to place it like here. So I'm just going to kind of put like a circle just as a guide as to where my center is going to be. Okay, just to give you a visual reference of that. You can feel free to start by filling it out if that's helpful. We're going to have to do that anyway, so might as well, I guess, at this point. Okay. And the way I did it is I looked at each petal and I decided where each petal was going to fall, and I painted it on with white. So there's like a nice petal that lives like here, and you can change this up too, right? So you can follow it or you can kind of do your own. So this one is here. And if your paint is, I guess, good enough so that if you put yellow right on top of these varied colors and it turns out great, you can skip the step of putting white if you want to. So this isn't, you know, like 100% necessary. This is just the way that I do it, but you can do it whichever way you want. Just because I do it doesn't mean it's like the only or the right way to do it. So there's some that poke out. And then there's like another one that kind of comes here. And for this sunflower, I use like a photo reference. So I just found like a few different sunflowers online, and I just said, okay, like I'm just going to use this as like a reference of like how the petals look. So feel free to do that and use images as like references, because I'm not like a flower expert, so I wouldn't have done this just from my own mind. I definitely had to look at some images to get a vibe of the way things landed on it. This petal's kind of coming off on the side weirdly, like there's different layers of petal on this flower, right? So you gotta keep that in mind. That little one's poking out from behind it. Okay. And we have another little guy like here, sticking out from behind. Another one kind of like in the front, but some bigger ones around it. There's one behind here. Okay. Okay. There's like another one in the background here that's kind of sticks out. Okay, now let me see. do want one that comes down. Smaller one here. And we have another one. I was really just trying to do an outline, a silhouette in white of the flower. I'll put some more down here, I think. Do we need another one? I don't even actually know. Yeah, I do want to put the other one like here. Then maybe we'll just put like a little wispy one this way. And I think I want to put another one like here. I put behind that guy. Okay. I think we're good. I might want to add some more elements afterwards, but I think this is good. So, and I'm just gonna go over a little bit on some of the areas that are clearly darker than others. I guess in the middle it's kind of okay for that to be like that. Okay, there we go. So pretty. My cat is trying to get in the paint, so I looked up when you said that. Oh, that's funny. Hello from a second. Oh, I'm so glad, Carla. Thanks so much for joining. I hope you enjoy. Again, you can rewind anything if you came in late, so feel free to like go back and see. And this video will be up as well. So once it's done, the live doesn't just go away. It will be all available on my under the videos tab. Okay, so I want to put in the stock. A weird name. So I'm just gonna go smaller, thinner first, and then I will thicken it up as I need. So I think the stock is gonna be like that. Okay. And now I need to put in some of these beautiful leaves that that way. Okay, looks like that. Okay, so like this one kind of stems. And it kind of creates like a triangle-ish here. And then it angles itself down. And then it almost has like an M shape here. And then it comes and it meets it. So that's kind of what this leaf looks like. And again, I'm just going to paint all the inside. Okay. A flippy leaf. Kind of cool, right? Okay. And there's like another one kind of on the back burner. Can't really see it as well. But it's living there. Okay. And there's one in the front here, and that one has like a line, like a, almost like that. And then it kind of loops down. Slide. And it kind of goes around. And then here it's just going to connect the two sides. And then we fill it in. Okay. Okay, now we have another one that's living like here. And this one has like kind of a wibble wobble to it. This leaf is a little crinkly. A little wibble wobble, a wibble wobble line. Okay, and then we're gonna kind of swoop and connect. Okay. Then we need it to almost like a little M shape like that. And we're going to create that triangle again here, like a little point. And then that one's going to come down, but it's off the canvas. Okay. And then we have a nice fig leaf here. That one's going to come off the canvas too. And come off like this. And then this way, this way. Okay. I don't know if we're going to see the stem because it kind of goes off the canvas at the bottom, but it works out. It looks cute. All right, I think we're pretty good with the white. Everyone good? It's kind of like we just put in a white silhouette of our flower to start off by just starting with a circle and then building some petals around. Whenever you build your petals, you may want to make them a little bit small, like just kind of go like maybe like a line in the middle and then just kind of build it out. If you're a little bit concerned about how big the petals are or how small they are, you can kind of go from there. Sometimes if they go too big, it's harder to like rein them in. Cool. So there we go. So now I want this guy to dry. We can start to put yellow in it and it might be fine. But I think I'm just going to want him to, let's get to dry fully. So what we can do at this point, if you want, you can then add some more details to your mountains if you want to. I think I'm going to put like a little bit of like a white, kind of like a thin white line on some of these, on just like one part of the ridge like that. I think, and then I think I'm going to put like a little bit here, like that maybe, just like kind of like kissing it with like, as if there's like something happening there. And then I'm just going to put like a little white line on this one mountain just to divide it from the one behind it. Just like that. I think that's good. And then I did have like a little kiss of white on this guy here, which I like. Yeah, that's all I'm going to do for that. Just little kisses of white there. Cool. And now what we can do while we wait for our flower to prepare itself, we can I put in like little like dots and spots on the hills to kind of feel like there's like other like flowers or other little elements happening. Again, it's optional. Everything's optional on here, so you don't have to. If you want to, we can do that now. So I think I'm going to just dip into my like red, and I'm just going to put in a few little like dots, and certain little spots. I'm just using the red first because I have more of it on my palette. Just putting little dots and little splotches like that. Okay, and then now I'm going to go to green. Do the same thing with green. I'm just putting little dots. Got a little bit of green in here. Okay, and then I want to get yellow. Okay. All right, cool. Little dotty and splotchies. Beautiful. All right. Okay, so this is still pretty, oh, it's actually kind of dry. It's funny because like the shiny paint always throws me off because I think it's like super wet. And there are some spots that are, but the majority of it is dry. So that's cool. Okay, cool. So we can start playing with this lovely, lovely, beautiful sunflower. Okay, so we want to get our yellow. I think I'm going to use my Crafters acrylic, my bright yellow. So I'm going to start with, I think, yes. I'm going to still grab, I have a daffodil yellow too, so I'm going to put a little bit of that on. It's like a little bit lighter. And then I have some pre-mixed brown that I'm going to dip into. Now, if you need to mix brown, you would put equal parts of red, blue, and yellow together. And then you'll get like a brown mix that way. Okay, so I got my colors and we're gonna go from there. So let's pick one of the petals and then we'll start there. So I'm going to go with the bright yellow to start, I think. And let's just say I'm gonna do like this one here. So I'm gonna, I should probably, down here is still wet. Don't put your hand on the canvas, silly girl. Okay, so I'm just gonna start like coloring in essentially as if you were doing a coloring, you're painting in a coloring book. Okay, and we're gonna go over the white for this particular petal. I'm using my detailed brush or my fine brush. Okay. So it's just like one flat yellow color. I'm gonna get a little droplet of brown and I'm just gonna put some closer where it connects. And then I'm gonna bring that down and start kind of like around where the petal is. And I'm going to go back to my yellow and just like dull it out a bit because the line is a little sharp. Okay, and then I use my white to just on the opposite side, so we put a lot of that dark color here. I'm going to put a bit of white on the other side of the petal. And then again, I'm just going to get my yellow paint to just soften the harshness of the white because I don't want it to be like white. I want to just have like a bit of a blend. Okay, I'm just going to mix that in a little. Okay, so that would be our first petal there. That has kind of a nice little blend to it. Hey, David. Oh, I'm sorry you had to work late, but I'm glad you're here. That's great. I'm glad you're tuning in, and I can't wait to see yours. It's definitely a landscape one, so we don't have to worry so much about some of the other components that stress us out. Although the petals can be interesting, I gotta say, but there's still some good blending going on. I think you'll really enjoy this one. Okay, let's pick another petal, and we're gonna do the same kind of process. Okay, so again, I have my yellow. Let's say we want to do like this one here. So again, I'm just going to as if I'm coloring it in. Use yellow on top of the white. And just get this petal defined. And then I'm going to go in and get a little bit brown. And then I'm just going to put some brown where it like connects, because this is the brown is really just to give it a bit of a shadow. Okay, and I'm going to put a little bit of brown maybe like here. I'm going to go back to my yellow, and I'm just going to mix my yellow back into the brown just to soften it. Then I'm going to get a little bit of white, and I'm going to just put a little bit of white in some of the areas where sunlight might kind of kiss it a little bit, like that. And that one might stay like that. Super cute. I'm going to do this petal behind here, and this petal is going to be a little bit darker. I am going to still start with my yellow. Okay, but I'm going to get a little bit of brown. Okay, and I'm going to mix it right into my wet yellow paint, which will just make this a little bit darker, but still in the same color palette that I want. So I'm going to keep like that for now. I might go back and make it a little lighter on the tip. I'm not sure yet. Okay. All right. So now we can do like this little petal that's sticking out. Okay. And again, I'm just going to put a little bit of brown, just a smidgen on the side there, like that. I'm going to go back with a little bit of yellow just to soften it a bit. Okay, cute. Essentially, I'm going to just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. Okay, I'm going to do this petal. There's like one that's a little smaller, and it kind of comes in front like that. So I'm going to do that one first. Okay, so I'm just going to, again, same thing. Okay, let's color it in. Okay, and with this one, it's going to be a little bit, like a little triangle of brown in the middle. That. And I'm just going to do a little bit on the side there. Then I'm going to get the yellow again and bring it in and just like soften it up a bit. Okay, and then I'm going to get some white, and I'm just going to put a little bit of white. Okay, looks like a heart actually. It's kind of cute. That's actually I love that. I like that a lot. Okay, and now we're gonna do yeah, we'll do this one here. It's like slowly we're bringing this to life. And there is like a little one that's twisting on the side here. Maybe I'll do that one first actually, this little twisty guy, because this one's a little darker. So I'm going to again just put in a little bit of brown into my yellow, which is wet. Okay, and then we're going to go back. Let's fill this bigger one with yellow. Okay, and then I'm going to use this brown again to kind of define and put a little bit of dark close here, but also like to define the other petals that are kind of coming out. Okay. And then yellow just to soften the brown. And to blend it a bit. And I'm going to put a little bit of white just to give it a little bit. And I'm going to soften that with a little bit of yellow. Okay, cute. Thank you, Jen. Thanks so much. All right, and we'll just keep working away at our petals. Okay, let's do this one here. This looks sticking out. So again, on top of the white, we just put our yellow. This little guy is a kind of a sticking out one. So I'm going to put a little bit of brown just on the edge where it connects, or it's kind of like under the last one, almost like to create a shadow. And then I'm going to get the yellow and then just like feed this yellow back into this brown just to soften it up a bit. Like that. Okay. And then maybe a touch of white. Just like that. And then just soften it up a bit. Cool. Next is another one. Okay, so here it's going to come in this way. So I'm just going to keep putting this, coloring this petal in. Petal. Okay, and the same, we'll put some brown around the bottom. Okay, and we're going to get yellow, and then we're going to put the yellow back into the brown, and then we'll just blend it all out nicely. Like that. Cute. Okay, and then some white. I'm going to go back to yellow to soften up the white. Cute. This petal looks like it's going in a weird direction, but you know what? Thank you. Thank you, Heather. I keep saying cute. Heather says it's not cute, it's amazing. I appreciate that. That's funny. You go into like, just as I like have to watch my hand when I do the same kind of patterning when I'm painting, I am clearly using the same words as I'm doing the paint session. So I apologize for the same words being over and over again. Okay, let us see. All right, so I think this one's gonna come out. So again, yellow outlines our white petal. I feel like I'm saying, I said the word petal too much, and I keep thinking I'm saying it wrong. I feel like I'm saying pedal, like pedaling a bike, like a gas pedal, as opposed to petal. Petal. It's just, when you say a word too many times, you know, it starts to feel like it's not a real word, and that's where I'm at with that word. All right. So again, I'm going to just put some brown in this area here and like spread it out. Okay, I need a little bit more, I think. Just a smidgen. Okay, and then we'll get my yellow to soften it. Okay, and then we'll get our white to give it a little bit of a highlight-ish. Highlight-ish. Yes, nice. Okay, cool. All right, and then we have another small one here. It's gonna kind of pop out like that. So I'm just gonna paint that one in first. And again, it's gonna be similar to that one where it kind of comes in almost like creating like almost like a little heart shape. And then just blend it in a little bit. And get a little dab of white. Okay, and then we get some yellow and blend it in. Little touches. Cute. He's cute again. I can't stop saying cute. Okay. Aye, aye. Alright, I'm going to, let's see how we're going to do this one. Okay, so I think this one is like this. Okay, and then I'll go around this baby one that I painted just now. Again, yellow. And we're going to get a dab of a brown. And we're going to basically go around what we just painted with the little heart one. And then I'm just going to bring the brown down, and then I'm going to get yellow and soften the brown. And we're going to get a dab of white. And we're going to just put a little bit of a highlight. Nice. Okay, cool. Next is over here. This one's coming down and around here. And again, what are we going to do? We're going to fill it in with yellow. So what is your base color? Start with that. And while it's still wet, we're going to do some nice little blending again. Okay, and I get the brown again. And again, we're going to go where it's connected. I'm just going to bring it in a bit of a curve. Like that. And then we're going to get yellow. We're going to soften it up. And then we're going to get white and put a little bit of a highlight. And then soften it up still. Okay, but what I'm going to do, I want to kind of separate these two. I'm just going to put a little bit of the brown just to separate that one from that one. I'm just going to get a little bit of white to just highlight this one above it. Okay, cool. All right. Thank you, Sarah. Hi, Irene. Yeah, absolutely. You can definitely watch it later for sure. And follow along. No problem. It will be up on the videos tab and on my YouTube channel. So whichever one you prefer, you'll be able to have access to it. All right. Oh, I forgot to do this little background petal. So again, yellow, and then I'm going to put a little bit of brown. And then I'm just going to get a little bit of yellow again, just to bring in some of the brightness back in. There we go. Now, I don't know if I'm going to put a white little thing. I think I'll leave it like that for that one. Okay. Yes. Ooh, tired. Not really, but it just gets repetitive, right? Okay, so this one. Almost done. So everything else is like so fast in comparison with this process. This is where it takes time, but this is also like the standout element of it. Well, I mean, the sky's pretty beautiful too, I would say. I really like it. But the sunflower, I think, really makes this special. Okay. So again, now we got a nice base. I'm going to get brown. Okay, and I'm going to get the yellow and soften my brown with my yellow. And I'm going to get some white and yeah. There we go. Okay, and then behind, another little one poking out here. Again, we're going to get the brown and come this way. And I think I might just leave that one as is. We'll see if I want to change it up afterwards, but right now it's good. It is good. Okay, and then here. Okay. And then similarly, from brown, and get yellow, and okay. I want a little more yellow in here, I think. There we go. Okay, and then white. A little bit of white in here. And then now we're just going to soften it so the white isn't fully on. Okay, beautiful. Okay, and this one in the background. Again, a little bit of brown. And then yellow to soften. Okay, and I think I might leave that one the way it is. And then this one here needs some yellow. Okay, and this one I think I might just go with a little bit of white. I might just leave that one the way it is. I think that maybe doesn't need any brown right now. Okay, and then which one shall we do next? I'm feeling this one here. Okay, so yellow. How are all of your paintings going? Everyone is painting along with me. Are you enjoying it? Is it turning out to your satisfaction? Are you having fun? Let me know. Okay, and now I put the brown, and then I'm just putting some yellow back in. Okay, and then let's get some white. I'm just gonna do a little bit more. Okay, so let's do this guy here. Okay, and then we need it to be a little bit darker. And then I'm gonna get more yellow. Like that. Okay. And then white. Okay. Heather says, I had a whale and an alien emerge from the clouds that I tried to create. Oh, so don't sell your channel. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Heather. I'm watching. Oh, great. Oh, I can't read your name because my computer's so small. Anastasia. Fun watching. Oh, I'm glad. And a lot of people enjoy watching first and then they'll take a stab at it later. And that makes a lot of sense. Like, that's totally cool. Well, I'm glad that you are having fun, Heather, and I'm glad that you are enjoying watching. Anastasia, that's fantastic. I always feel strange about it because I would love to have like music or something going on, but everything is like, everything is copyright. You have to have like royalty-free music and whatnot. That kind of sucks. I get it and I appreciate it. I think it's important. Copyright's very important, but it would be nice if we could have like something going on. I used to have some of the videos that you'll see. I have like nature sounds playing in the background, but I haven't in the last couple. I just have left it as is with the silences. Maybe we need more silence sometimes, you know? Our world is so go, go, go. Okay, so I have a few more petals left. This one in the back, I want it to be a little bit defined. Okay, let's get more yellow, soften that up. Okay, and then this guy here. Why do I keep calling them guys? It's so weird. Okay. So let's get this one going. Okay. And again, we'll put a little bit of brown in this area. Bring back some yellow into the brown. Okay, let's get a little bit of white to highlight this one a little bit. And let's get some more yellow just to blend it back a bit. Okay. Cute. Looks nice. Awesome. Oh, thank you so much for the stars, Irene. I really appreciate that. Yes, so Louise is asking if this will be posted later. So under the videos tab on my Facebook page, all of my videos, this is the 100th paint party, so there's 99 others, plus this one will all be there. And also on my YouTube channel. I'll post it there after the session is done. So whatever one you prefer, whether you like to do it on Facebook or you prefer YouTube, you would have the option to go about doing it on either one. Oh, I'm glad that it's very relaxing. That's great to hear, Anastasia. All right, so looking pretty cute, looking pretty nice. Beautiful stuff. All right, I'm gonna hold it up a little bit so you can see what's going on. That's what we got so far. All right, so from here, we need to do the inside of our sunflower, all the seeds, all of the different dots and spots that go on in there. And then we're also going to do the stem. So I think to stick with the same colors, let's start with the dots and spots in the middle and go from there. So I'm going to start first with some black, and I'm going to start with just putting little dots and spots. In here. Okay, and then I'm going to go with some like brown. I'm going to get some brown ones happening. And the goal will be to cover all the white. Now we're going to do that by using the brown, the yellow, the black. So I'm going to go back now and put some more yellow. And I'm going to go and get all the white area, and I'm going to keep going in these like dots and spots kind of vibe. I'm putting black kind of more in the center. And then I'm using the brown and the yellow to kind of mess it up. And I'm probably going to go back in and make the black stand out a little bit more after. Okay, let me get more brown. So I'm staying more in the center of here right now, but then we are going to veer out and bring these like dots and splotches out into our petals as well. But again, I really want to get all my everything that I can see the white behind it, I want to cover it. So I'm being very weirdly specific when I'm putting these as I keep going to make sure that I'm covering all the little white spots. It's like my goal. Okay, now I need to get more yellow. Okay, a little bit more yellow. Okay, and then brown. Now my brown, I'm going to start too. They're going to veer off a little bit off this track. And they're going to come into the petal areas a little bit. Just a little bit. somewhere in the middle, like the brown. Okay, and I want to go back to my yellow. I just want to, some of the splotches are a little too precise, so I'm just going to mess them up so it's not like a perfect splotch. Yeah, I think it looks good. Oh, did it have like almost like a face in the middle? That's so funny. I didn't realize that. I'm gonna have to like go back on the video and take a look and see. That kind of interesting. That's really cool. It's cool that you spotted that, Irene. That's neat. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a look at it just over here for a moment. I think I want my brown splotches to be a little bigger in some of them because I feel like that's the variation is not enough of a change. So let me just make a few a little bigger. And sometimes when it's too uniform, it doesn't work. So, all right, I think I'm gonna just do it like that. I think I like the spots on that one more. It's okay. We'll let it go. It's fine. They're all unique and original. Okay. Now, for the stem and for the leaves, it's going to be a similar process to how we did the petals here. Only we're going to be using green, white, black, maybe a little bit of yellow. Okay. So I'm going to mix some white into my green before I even start. And the reason is because this particular green is quite thin, so I kind of want it to be a little more. Okay, let's do this one here. So with this one, this inside part is lighter. So we'll pick like a lighter green. It has like this part here, yeah. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of white right in there too. I'm adding a little bit of water just because my paint was getting a little too thick, and that will just make it a bit easier to use. Okay, and then I'm gonna get a bit of a darker green to line the bottom of that. And I'm using my thinner brush. Okay, and then we're going to use, I think, even like a little bit more dark just to get under here. Okay, and then I think I'm going to put a little bit of black, just like a line of black just here. And then I'm also going to put a line of black, just outlining a little bit this curve on this here, and then I'm going to just do another one in the middle like that. And then maybe we'll put another one along the side here, just a slight little bit. Okay, nice. That was pretty. Okay, which next one shall we do? Maybe we shall do this leaf back here. Okay, so same thing, a lighter green. So I have green with some white mixed into it. This one I'm just going to, again, as if I'm coloring, I'm just going to fill in the white. Okay, and then now let's get some, let's put a bit of darker green in here. Okay, let's get a little bit of black and touch up. Let's see, we want this curve here, and maybe one up there, one here. Okay, so now we need to get green and like just dull out some of the black here. A little too harsh there. Okay, and then we need it a little bit lighter here. Okay, that works. Okay, I have a few more of these to do. Thanks for everyone for sticking around. Just gonna put a little bit. Oof, that's not as. Just want to make it a little bit lighter here on this side. Okay, cool. All right, let's do this one here. So use this like kind of a lighter one for now. And then this kind of comes down like that. Okay. And then we need black or something darker. And then in here, it's like a bit of a shadow happening. Okay. And then I'm just going to put a black, like a very thin line at the bottom of this guy here. And then I also did one like here. And then we did a white. Like that. Touch a little bit like that. Okay, cool. All right, let's keep going. So this one here. Okay. Using a little bit of a darker green on this one here. I'm going to get a bit of black and then just line that. Line this and this. And I'm going to bring it down. Ooh. Now I need to make this green instead of a black line. Okay. And I'm going to get a little bit of light and just touch the side of it like that. Okay, cool. And then on the inside of this guy here, add a little bit of a line there. Just put a little bit of green. A little more like that, I think. And just soften it up a bit. Okay, cool. All right, let's see. So with this one, the bottom, so again, we're going to fill it out, or fill it in. The green. Okay. And then we have a little bit of darker green. Then we have some black, which we're going to just outline the curves of this leaf. Excuse me. Okay, what was I trying to get now? Let me see. Oh, right, I wanted some white. Okay. And then I'm just going to add a little bit on here and on here. And then I'm going to get some green and then just like feed it back into my white just to blend it out a little bit. Okay. Okay, I think that's good. I'm just going to put a little bit. Okay. Okay. gotta stop tattooing this one. It's not looking exactly how I want it. Ah, that's fine. We'll leave it. We'll leave it. Okay. And then this one. And I think we're gonna go like this with black, a little bit darker at the top. Okay, and then a little bit lighter. Okay. Now we need to do the stem. Okay, and then now we're just going to put in some of these. Yeah, so I'm going to put a little bit of black down the side. Like that. I'm going to use a little bit of yellow. Just to put a little bit of a lightness. Ooh, didn't want to do that. Has to be in front of it. So, okay, there we go. And I'm just going to put a little bit of white just down here as well. Okay, no green. Okay, I think we're good. Okay. I think I'm going to call that complete. Oh, thank you. Doreen says she thinks she likes this picture better than the original. I'm so glad. Perfect. All right, I think I'm good. I think this is going to be done. And it's a little bit different, right? Like it's funny how you can paint something and like it, right? Like it totally, it can be like it's the same. You can be like, oh yeah, it's the same picture, but it's different, you know? Like it's kind of interesting. All right, let's see. Can't see anything properly here. That's not a very good camera angle, is it? All right. There we go. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. That was the original. And there are a lot of great things that I really, really like about it. I like the inside a bit more than the other one, I think. However, I think I like the mountain a lot more, and I do like the sky more. And I think the placement of the flower is a little different, and I do actually kind of prefer the placement of this one more too. So yeah, kind of fun, eh? How that you do the same painting and like it totally changes. That doesn't totally change, but there's different aspects of it. So that's great. Well, I hope everyone who painted along with me, first of all, thank you for painting along with me. It makes me be creative, which is something that I hadn't done for a long time before starting these paint parties. I hadn't put it on the back burner. And so thank you all for helping me continue with my artistic practice. It gives me like a purpose when I know other people are enjoying it and you find it helpful. So that's really great. I would love to see your artwork. So please share, take a picture and share whatever you have created. And that'd be fantastic. Thank you for joining me for the 100th paint party. It's very exciting and I can't wait to continue painting with you. There's another one scheduled for next week and I'll be putting up my May calendar very soon. I usually do like a little video slideshow of what we're going to be doing for the month, so that will be coming up in the next couple weeks or so. Well, I guess not really the next couple weeks, probably like within the next like week, because May is like right around the corner. That's about it. So thank you all. Please like and share with anyone who you think might be interested in joining in. And again, if you haven't yet, take a look at the giveaway that I have on the main page as a pin post. And if you're interested, just comment, like, and share it. And then you get more chances to win a hosted private paint party with me and 10 of your friends virtually. So that could be really fun. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much. And see you soon. Bye, everyone.